'cause the Mets are really sucking the ball, knocking those home runs over the wall. East side, where's the time? Everybody's coming down to meet me and the BTS Mets from New York.
Welcome to Shea Stadium, New York. WOR presents New York Met Baseball as today the St. Louis Cardinals take on your New York Mets here at Shea Stadium in New York. Hello, everybody. Then it is a sports time machine. I'm going to bring you coverage of June 1st, 1968 baseball as Jacob DeGrom, that's right, Jacob DeGrom in his 1968 Alternate Universe replay will take the mound against the legend himself, 1968 legend Bob Gibson. That's right. We are sold out here at Shea Stadium as two of the greatest pitchers of their times are going to pitch today in front of a full house. Let's look at the standings, and they have struggled. The Giants are 29-19. They're a game and a half on St. Louis, 2 on Pittsburgh, 3 on Atlanta, and 3.5 on our beloved Mets, who are 23-20. The Mets have been struggling. They're 3-7 in their last 10. They lost their last game of the series. They're coming home right now where they're 12-10 on the home, while St. Louis right now is actually 14-6 on the road. So they're a hot team playing away from Busch Stadium. The New York Mets come in with a +11 run differential, while the St. Louis Cardinals come in at a -5. So basically both teams kind of having the same issues and same problems. St. Louis leads the National League in hitting at .262, while the Mets are hitting .244, which is just a point below the league average. The Cardinals are team ERA is 2.86, while the Mets are going down a little bit at 2.97, which is right at even at league ERA. Our pitching matchup for this afternoon, Bob Gibson on the mound. Not as great as he was in the actual season, but he's 4-4. ERA very respectable, 2.52, 61 hits in 75 innings, and he has struck out 74 in 76 innings. While the rookie of the year, I can say that right now, he's potentially could be an MVP, is Jacob DeGrom. He is 5-2 on the season, a 1.55 ERA. He's given up only 35 hits in 64 innings, and he has struck out. I believe he has struck out 81 in 64, and we'll go over that more. And he already has a WAR so far of 3.3, so he's having a very explosive day. The Mets have been without Jerry Grody for a while in these games, and that's cost him. He seems to be the big spark plug on his team. He's back, but Tommy Agee is still nursing an injury, and he should be back by tomorrow. Well, folks, let's do this. It's baseball time here at Shea Stadium as we bring you the New York Mets and the St. Louis Cardinals. For the Cardinals, Lou Brock leading off. He'll be followed by Kurt Flood. Mike Shannon batting third at third. Orlando Cepeda batting fourth at first. Roger Maris batting fifth and right. Tim McCarver behind the plate batting sixth. Julian Javier batting seventh at second. Del Maxwell batting eighth at short, and Bob Gibson is batting ninth. He's your pitcher. For the Mets defensively, Stahl on left playing instead of Agee today. Jones in center and Swoboda in right. Charles at third, Howson at short, Boswell at second, and Cranepool at first. Grody behind the plate, and on the mound is DeGrom, 5-2, 1.55 ERA, 35 hits over 64 innings, 7 walks, and he has struck out 81 in 64 innings, with only giving up 3 home runs. Let's look under the hood, as they say, as we'll take a look at Jacob DeGrom's last couple starts to kind of get you started. It was a no decision in his last start. He went 8 innings, giving up 4 hits, struck out 10. He has struck out 10, 6 of his 8 starts. His start before that, he went 9 innings, only giving up 1 hit and striking out 10. Was near perfect in 1 game this year, and the last game was an early hit, and then he retired everyone else, completing the masterpiece. So far on the year, Jacob DeGrom has completed 3 complete games, so he has been an absolute savior. Seaver has struggled a little bit, especially in his last start. So DeGrom is definitely picking up the slack. So Lou Brock will lead off. He's hitting 296, 12 doubles, 4 triples, 2 homers, 15 RBIs, one of the hotter Cardinals in the lineup. He has swiped 17 bases. Grody sets this target. DeGrom looks in. Here's the pitch to Brock. And that is going to be a strikeout for Brock. So there it is. First strikeout of the game for Jacob DeGrom. And here is Kurt Flood hitting 326. 5 doubles, 2 triples, a homer. 18 runs batted in. Brody puts down a sign. DeGrom looks in. Here's the windup to Kurt Flood. And Kurt Flood struck him out, and that's 2 in a row. So DeGrom is on fire. And here's Mike Shannon hitting 231. 3 homers, 17 runs batted in. Brody puts down the sign. DeGrom looks in. Here's the pitch to Shannon. And that is going to be a strike in. And he struck this side out. 3 up, 3 down, go to Cardinals. Oh, boy, here comes DeGrom. 1/2 inning of play. Cardinals, nothing. And the Mets coming up the bat. Bottom of the first here in Jay. We all think about ID. Yesterday, as we're playing this Cardinal game, he is going now through the toughest part of the recovery process, as he is. Hopefully, we'll get through everything. Godspeed, ID. So here is Lanny Stahl. Was Lanny at Warren? Let's see. Stahl's only been up 34 times, hitting 206. Tommy Agee out of the lineup has been kind of moving a bit rough for this Met team. Larry Stahl. So here comes Stahl, left-handed hitter, will bat against Gibson. Cardinal defense, and it's a good one. Brock, Flood, and Maris. Shannon, Maxwell, Javier, Cepeda, McCarver behind the plate, and Gibson on the mound, like we talked about, 4-4, respectable 2.52 ERA, 61 hits in 75 innings. He has struck out 74 in 75 innings, when he walked 9, and has given up 5 home runs. So Gibson looks in, gets the sign from Stahl, and here's the first pitch. And that is a single left field for Stahl. So he's in for Agee, leads off with a base hit. So now here is Kenny Boswell hitting 279, no homers, 6 RBIs. McCarver sets the target. Gibson from the stretch, runner on first and nobody out. And Boswell, I must have the Mets as I must not be managing them, yes. So the Cardinals will go in as the computer manager, and I will go ahead and help. They're having Boswell bunt there, but he didn't lay down a good one. So McCarver sets the target. Gibson from the stretch, here's the pitch to Boswell. And that is a catch X McCarver. Let's see if McCarver can come up with this. No, he does. Makes a nice play coming out. Throws down to Maxwell. Gets the force out. So a nice play by McCarver. Gets Stahl off the base pass. Boswell will beat the throw for a fielder's choice. And here's Cleon Jones hitting 275. 7 homers, 20 runs batted in. Jones, right-hand hitter with power. McCarver sets down the target, and Gibson working for the stretch. Run on first, 1 out, pitch to Cleon Jones. 4-9, and struck him out, 2 outs. And now here's Eddie Charles hitting 305. His average is starting to come down a bit. Reality is setting in for Eddie. 6 doubles, 9 homers, 29 RBIs, right-handed hitter. McCarver sets the target. Gibson from the stretch, runner on first and 2 outs, pitch to Charles. And Charles singles the center field. Boswell the second. He will try for third. Does he try it? Yes, he does. And Charles stops at first. So Boswell goes first to third. Barely beats the throw. So now the Mets have a runner in scoring position with 2 outs. And here's Ronnie Swoboda hitting 238 with 4 home runs and 12 runs batted in. So McCarver sits in the target. Gibson from the stretch, first and third, 2 outs. Mets needing a win. Here's the pitch, and that is a line drive deep to left field. That's way back at Brock. Makes the catch. Speed caught up with it. You cannot teach speed. Brock ran it down. Could have been extra bases, but he made a great catch. Mets, no runs, 2 hits. They strand 2. We go to the top of the second here at Shea. Mets nothing, and the Cardinals nothing. In front of a full house, I would believe. Let's see, we have an early attendance, 45,000 here at Shea. Wow, umpires Billy Williams, Tom Gorman, Eddie Sudell, and Lee Wire. So Billy Williams behind the plate already giving Gibson, giving DeGrom a good strike zone. Here's Cepeda, 257, 6 home runs, 18 RBIs, having a solid first half of the season. Grody puts down the target, and DeGrom from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Cepeda. And Cepeda, deep drive left field. That is far. That is deep. That's going into the picnic area. Gone, home run. So DeGrom strikes out his first three and then gives up a long ball to Orlando Cepeda. And the Cardinals lead it 1-0. Going, gone, goodbye. So now here is one of the legends, Roger Maris, 267, 131 at bats, has a couple triples, no homers, 19 runs batted in. Grody now tries to settle DeGrom down, puts the sign down. DeGrom from the windup. Here's the pitch to Maris. And Maris a pop to short. Harrelson there makes the catch and one away. And here is Timmy McCarver, 284, 3 homers, 15 RBIs. If he can keep that average up, the Cardinals would be blessed with his defensive ability to get that kind of season out of him. Grody puts down the target. DeGrom from the windup. Here's the pitch to McCarver. And McCarver, a single to right field. Boswell cannot get it. McCarver's on it first. And here's Julian Javier, 276. 8 doubles, 2 triples, a homer, 11 ribbies. Batting from the right-hand side. Grody from the stretch. DeGrom looks in. Runner on first, one out. McCarver being held, probably not going anywhere. Here's the pitch to Javier. Javier with a line drive deep to left field. Stall back at the track. Makes the catch in front of the warning track as McCarver holds. Here's Del Maxwell, 290, no homers, 6 runs batted in. He's the Cardinal shortstop. Gibson waits on deck. Grody puts down the side. DeGrom from the stretch with McCarver first. He'll get a good jump off the bag. Here's the pitch to Maxwell. And that is struck him out. Number 4 for DeGrom. The Cardinals get a run on Cepeda's home run. We go to the bottom of the second. It's 1-0 St. Louis here at Shea. So now here's Jerry Grody, followed by Craneful and Harrelson. Boy, they miss Grody during this stretch. 109 at bats, 5 double, triple homer, 7 RBIs. Means so much to this team. He's hitting 284. McCarver sets the target. Gibson with the windup. Here's the pitch to Grody. And Grody struck him out. So a big strikeout for Gibson. That for Mr. Bob Gibson gives him 2. Here's Cranepool. 266, 5 doubles, 3 homers, 19 RBI, seeing a lot of time right now. McCarver sets the target. Gibson from the windup. Here's the pitch to Cranepool. And Cranepool single to right field. Easy. Cranepool continues. Here's Bud Harrelson hitting 236. His average is starting to come down. Reality setting in. 5 doubles, 15 RBI. Switch hitting, batting from the left-hand side. McCarver sets the target. Gibson from the stretch. Run first. They are. Wow, Cepeda's playing it back in the bag, allowing Cranepool to take a good lead off first. Here's the pitch from Gibson. And that is going to be a fly ball left field. Brock is there. Makes the catch, and Cranepool will hold. So now here's Jacob DeGrom. In the one start he had with the Mets won, Jacob hit the home run to supply the only offense. So let's see how DeGrom does against Gibson. And I'm sure Gibson knows that. So DeGrom has to worry about a ball going up and inside on him. McCarver sets the target. Gibson from the stretch. Here's the pitch to DeGrom. And DeGrom fouls out behind the plate. McCarver waits. He waits. Makes the catch. And the Mets are done in the second. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 left. We played 2. Cardinals 1. Mets nothing. Top of the third here. WOR Mets baseball on this Saturday, June 1st, 1968. Actually, June 1st. So here we go. It's going to be Bob Gibson, followed by Brock and Flood. Gibson hitting 170 on the season, 6 RBIs, couple doubles. He's always handled the bat well. Grody sets in the target. DeGrom with a big windup and pitch. And that will be a fly out right field. Got a good piece. Swoboda there makes the catch, and there's 1 away. Here's Brock. He's 0 for 1. Struck out his first time up. Grody puts down the target. DeGrom with the windup. Here's the pitch to Brock. And Brock struck him out, and that is 5 for DeGrom. Here's Kurt Flood. 0 for 1 in the ballgame. Struck out his first time up. Grody sets the target. DeGrom, the sign from Grody. Here's the windup and the big deal from DeGrom. And that is a base hit for Flood. He's 1 for 2. So Flood is on with 2 outs. Here's Mike Shannon. He struck out his first time up. Grody puts down the target. DeGrom, again, working from the stretch. Flood will take a good lead. Cranepool holding him on. Here's the pitch to Shannon. And that will be a ground ball to short. Harrelson pitches it to Boswell to end the inning. Cardinals, no runs, one hit. We go to the bottom of the third. It's still 1-0 St. Louis. St. Louis, 1 run on 3 hits. The Mets, no runs on 3 hits. Last of the third here at Shea. Here is Stahl, who followed by Boswell and Jones for the Mets here in the third. McCarver puts down the target for him. Gibson looks in. Hit a big kick in the windup. And that will be a base hit for Stahl. He's 2 for 2. So Stahl comes in for AG and is very successful. So now let's look at Boswell. The Cardinals will bring the corners in. Shannon Cepeda playing in at the corners. Boswell probably won't be asked to bunt it. That makes him a D. I don't think that would be a good thing to do. We'll see if we can lay one down anyway. That might be a good idea. See, Boswell puts the bat head in front, drops it down, and he gets to second. A nice bunt. So it's fielded by Cepeda. Javier takes first, throws him out, and a nice job of bunting by Boswell. So Stahl moves to second with 1 out. Here's Cleon Jones. Gil Hodges and the Mets working a little small ball, trying to catch up here in the third. Carver puts down the target. Gibson from the stretch. Runner on second. 1 out. Here's the pitch to Jones. And that is going to be a ground ball back to Gibson. Get it. Looks. Stahl back. Makes the play to Cepeda. And there's 2 outs here in the third. Here's Eddie Charles. 1 for 1. Singled his last time up. He can use a big base hit right now. That would give Stahl an extra point just to be and get the lead, and also with 2 outs. Even 1-17 coming home. Cardinal arms. Maris is good at -2. Flood good at -1. Brock is a little over. He has one of those green light arms at a +1. McCarver sets the target. Gibson from the stretch. Runner on second. 2 outs in the third. Pitch Charles. And Charles single to left field. Let's see if they take the advantage. 1-18 on Stahl. Here comes the throw. Not in time. And the Mets tie it up. Eddie Charles, an RBI single. So a 2-out RBI single for Eddie Charles. And the Mets tied at 1. So here's Ron Swoboda. Flied out his first time up. Catch was made by a running catch by Brock. McCarver sets in the target. Gibson from the stretch. Runner on first and 2 outs. Here's the pitch. And that will be a fly ball left field. Brock may not have to move. Makes the catch, and the Mets are done in the third. But the Mets get a run on 2 hits. They strand 1. We played 3, and we're tied at 1. The Mets, 1 run on 5 hits. Dear Cardinals, 1 run on 3 hits. Time to 4 here as we play 1968 Mets Alternate Universe replay, starring Mr. Jacob DeGrom. So top of the 4th inning, Cepeda will be followed by Maris and McCarver. Cepeda hit a long home run in the picnic area his first time up. Was back in the second. Brody puts down the target. DeGrom looks in. Here's the wind up to Cepeda. And that will be up. Struck him out. That is 6 for DeGrom. Here's Maris. 0 for 1. Brody sets in the target. DeGrom looks in. Here's the big windup and pitch. And that's a strikeout for DeGrom. That is 7 for DeGrom through 3 2/3. Here's Tim McCarver. He's 1 for 1. Brody puts down the sign. DeGrom looks in, gets it. Here's the pitch to McCarver. Looking to strike out the side. He got him on the inside corner. And DeGrom strikes out the side. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. We are tied at 1. DeGrom, 8 strikeouts through 4. So now here's Brody, followed by Cranepool and Harrelson. 1-1 score matinee matchup between Bob Gibson and Jacob DeGrom. McCarver puts down the sign. Gibson from the windup. Here's the pitch to Jerry Grody. And Grody ground ball the second. Javier's got it. He's got a time. He throws him out to Cepeda for out number 1. Here's Cranepool, 1 for 1 in the ball game. He singled to right field his first time up. McCarver puts down the sign. Gibson looking in. Here's the wind up Cranepool. And that will be a hit up at the pitch. And Cranepool takes first base. Oh, that had to hurt. Gibson kind of staring him back. He goes back. He takes the ball and the rosin bag. So Harrelson comes up, runner on first and 1 out. On deck is DeGrom. McCarver puts down the sign. Gibson from the stretch. Here's a pitch to Harrelson. And that is going to be struck him out. So strikeout number 3 for Gibson. Here is DeGrom. And he knows what Gibson just did. So we'll see if DeGrom maybe pays the price and pays a receipt back to the Cardinals in the top of this inning. McCarver sets in the target. Gibson from the stretch. Run first and 2 outs. Pitch to DeGrom, and that is a fly ball right field. That is Maris. Does he come up with it? He does with the catch. And the Mets, no runs, no hits, a hit batsman. We go to the top of the 5th. We are tied at 1. So now, top of the 5th, it's Javier Maxwell, and yes, you bat here in the National League. It's Bob Gibson. Does DeGrom put one in the ear of Gibson in the top of this inning? Things get exciting here at Shea. Top of the 5th, 1-1 score. Javier 0 for 1. Fly down his first time up. Brody puts down the target. DeGrom, the windup. Here's the pitch to Javier. 1-6, struck him out, and that is 9. He's 1 out away from getting 10 strikeouts yet again. Here's Del Maxwell. Maxwell struck out his first time up. Brody puts down the sign. DeGrom looks in. 1 out in the 5th. Here's the pitch to Maxwell. 1-10 fly ball left field. Stahl is there. Makes the catch 2 out. Here's Gibson. 0 for 1. Fly out first time out. He knocked down Cardwell and hit him with the pitches last time up. Let's see if DeGrom goes after Gibson here. 3-3 on Gibson's cards. A hit batsman and a brawl will take loose. Brody puts down the target. DeGrom looks in. Here's the pitch to Gibson. 5-4 catch axe. He popped it up probably. And it is a pop-up. Makes the catch, and DeGrom stares down Gibson. We played 4.5. It is 1-1. Cardinals 1 run, 3 hits. The Mets 1 run, 5 hits. Stahl, Boswell, and Jones the bat for the Mets in the 5th. Stahl 2 for 2 in the ballgame, playing for AG. Scored a run that tied the Met game here in the 3rd. So he'll bat, followed by the lefty Boswell and the righty Jones. McCarver puts down the target. Gibson looks in, stares him down. Here's the big windup to Stahl, and that is a fly ball center. Flood is there, makes the catch, and there's 1 away. Here's Kenny Boswell, 0 for 1, a huge sacrifice bunt in that 3rd inning. McCarver puts down the target. Gibson looks in. Here's the windup and pitch to Boswell, and Boswell hits a drive to right center field. Back goes Flood, looks up, and it is on. Kenny Boswell going, goodbye. So Boswell's first home run of the year gives the Mets a 2-1 lead. So Boswell touches them all. And here's Cleon Jones. So the Mets with a 2-1 lead as the second home run of the ball game. The first was by Cepeda in the 2nd. McCarver puts down the target. Gibson, not one happy here. Looks in. Here's the pitch to Cleon Jones. Ground ball to 3rd. Shannon's got it. Goes over to 1st, and there's 2 outs. Here's Ed Charles, 2 for 2. Single in the 1st, drove in a run, the single in the 3rd. McCarver puts down the target. Gibson looks in. Here's the pitch to Charles, and that's a strikeout on Charles. But the Mets get a run back in the 5th. Home run by Kenny Boswell. 2-1 Mets. We head to the 6th inning. So 2-1 Mets. We head to the 6th. The Mets trying to win this big one here to tie this series at 1. Here is Brody. Puts down the target. DeGrom looks in. Does he strike out his 10th man? Pitch to Brock. He does. And he strikes out 10 again. And the scoreboard flashes the 10 strikeouts for DeGrom. So again, DeGrom strikes out 10. That's his 7th time he has struck out against 2 where he hasn't. So 7 in his 9th start, he struck out at least 7 times. His high has been 13 in his start on the 8th of this month, when he went 8 2/3, giving up 2 hits and striking out 13. So here's Kurt Flood, 6th inning. Brody puts down the sign now. DeGrom looks in. Here's the pitch to Flood, and that is going to be a line drive at Boswell for 2 outs. Here's Mike Shannon 0 for 2. Brody puts down the sign. DeGrom looks in. Here's the big windup to Shannon, and Shannon fly to center. Jones is there, makes the catch, and the Cardinals go 1-2-3. DeGrom gets his 10th strikeout. We go to the bottom of 6, 2-1 Mets. So here is Ron Swoboda, followed by Grody and Cranepool. So Swoboda will come up. Swoboda's 0 for 2, 2 flyouts in the game. McCarver puts down the sign. Gibson looks in. Here's the pitch to Sloboda. And Sloboda, line drive. Shannon with a diving play. Nice play. 1 out in the 6th. Here's Jerry Grody's 0 for 2. McCarver puts down the sign. Gibson, full wide-out pitch to Grody. And Grody struck him out. Grody down on strikes. That is strikeout number 5 for Gibson. Here is Cranepool, 1 for 1. Singled and hit by a pitch. That was back in the 4th inning. And Cranepool is jarring at Gibson right now. 2 outs in the 6th. McCarver puts down the sign. Gibson looks in. Here's the wind-up to Cranepool. 3-2 and fouled out behind the plate. McCarver throws away the mask, makes the catch, and the Mets are done in the 6th. 3 up, 3 down. Let's head to the 7th. 2-1 Mets. 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors for your Mets. 1 run, 3 hits for the Redbirds. Top of the 7th, Cepeda, Maris, McCarver. Right, left, the bat against DeGrom. So 10 strikeouts for Jacob here in the 7th inning. Grody puts down the target. DeGrom with the big wideout, the pitch to Cepeda. 3-8 struck him out. There's 11 for Jacob. So now here's Maris, who's 0 for 2. He has lined out and struck out. Grody puts down the sign. DeGrom with the big wind-up and pitch to Maris. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to short. Oh, picked up by Harrelson. He gets it, throws him out 2 away. That's one thing Jacob doesn't do. He doesn't give a lot of his defense a chance to play. He's a big strikeout pitcher. 11 strikeouts through 6 2/3. Here's McCarver. He's 1 for 2. Grody puts down the sign. DeGrom looks in. McCarver has singled and struck out. Here's a pitch to McCarver. And that is a ground ball second. Another grounder. That is Boswell. Got it and throws him out. And a good 7th inning for DeGrom. Let's go to the 7th inning stretch. It's 2-1 Mets. 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the Mets. 1 run, 3 hits for the Cardinals. Harrelson followed by DeGrom, we think, and then Stahl. Already Gil Hodges and DeGrom talking about it. DeGrom looks like may get his way. He's going on the on-deck circle. He's at least on the steps. McCarver puts down the sign. Gibson looks in. Here's the windup and pitch to Harrelson. Harrelson ground ball to first. Cepeda's got it. Takes it to the bag, and there's 1 away. And the fans are on their feet, and they're expecting him. And here comes Jacob DeGrom. He'll bat for himself. He's fouled out and flied out here. 1 out in the 7th. McCarver sets the sign. Gibson looks in. And the big delivery by Bob. 2-7 ground ball to first. Cepeda waves off. Gibson takes it to the bag himself, and you got 2 outs. Here is Stahl, 2 for 3. 2 singles, a fly out, and then scored back in the 3rd inning, giving the Mets to tie the game. And then Boswell has untied it with the home run back in the 5th. McCarver sets the target. Gibson looks in, and the deal to Stahl. 4-9 line drive. Oh, what a play by Javier. Hey, nice job there. 3 up, 3 down. Go to Mets. Let's go to the 8th. 2-1 Mets. A nice play by Julian Javier, who will start the 8th inning. How about that? Guy makes a great play to end the inning. Leads off in the top of the inning. So now, so far, the Mets 2 runs on 6 hits. The Cardinals 1 run on 3 hits. Now the question is, what do the Cardinals do with Gibson batting 3rd in the inning? Do they tell Bob, sorry, Bob, you're done? Only a few people have done it, and a few people have lived to talk about it. Javier to bat, followed by Maxwell and Gibson. Grody behind the plate. DeGrom looks in, and the pitch, and they're going to bat for the guy who made the great play. How about that? Dickie Schofield Sr., 296, 4 doubles, and 2 RBIs. So Schofield will bat. Grody puts down the target. DeGrom with the windup. Pitch to Schofield. And that's a fly ball left field. That's a tough play for Stahl. Comes in, makes the catch. He made it easy. So Stahl came in, got a good jump, 1 away. And now here is Dale Maxwell, 1 out in the 8th. He's 0 for 2. He struck out and flied out. Grody puts down the sign. DeGrom with the big windup and deals to Maxwell. 2-3 fly ball right field. Swoboda is there, makes the catch, and now 2 outs. And let's see if they bat for Gibson here in the 8th. So Gibson sets in. They will bat for him. So again, it'll be Phil Gagliano, 174, 23 at bats. And Gibson's not happy as he storms off to the locker room. He's not going to wait here and see if his Cardinals can get the run back. Grody puts down the target. DeGrom looks in. Here's the windup and pitch to Gagliano and struck him out. That is 12 for DeGrom as he goes fatigued into the ninth inning. Mets 2 runs on 6 hits. The Cardinals 1 run on 3 hits. Boswell with a huge home run in the 5th inning to give the Mets the lead. He'll be followed by Cleon Jones and Eddie Charles here against Granger for the Cardinals. Granger, no record, 3 ERAs, pitched 21 innings, giving up 22 hits. McCarver sets in the target. Granger with the windup and pitch to Boswell. And that is going to be a single at center field for Boswell. He's 2 for 3. Holy cow. Good start here for the Mets in the 8th. Here's Cleon Jones, 0 for 3. Grounded out. He struck out and grounded out twice. McCarver puts out the target. Granger from the stretch. Runner on first. Nobody out here in the 9th. And that's going to be a catch. That should do it. That should be a foul out and makes the catch and 1 away. So with 1 out, here is Eddie Charles, 2 for 3. Singled in the 1st, big RBI, singled in the 3rd, and struck out in the 5th. McCarver sets in the target. Granger looks in. Runner on first, 1 out. Granger working from the stretch. Pitch to Charles. And now the ground ball to short. Maxwell to Schofield gets the easy out, and Charles will beat the relay for the fielder's choice. So runner on first and 2 outs for Ronnie Swoboda, 0 for 3. McCarver puts down the sign. Granger working from the stretch. Charles getting a good lead off for Cepeda, holds him on. Here's the pitch to Swoboda. 6-8 fly ball left field. Brock is there, makes the catch, and we head to the 9th. Mets 2, Cardinals 1. And of course, DeGrom works tired here in the 9th. He's given up 1 run on 3 hits through 8 innings. One blow here can tie is Brock, Flood, and Shannon with the meat of the order for the Cardinals. Cepeda and Maris after that. The Mets do have their bullpen going in case the first hit happens to end the day for Jacob here. Can DeGrom pitch the game and finish this big for the Mets? Here we go. Here's Brock, 0 for 3. Struck out 3 times. He has struck out 12 so far. Brody puts down the target. DeGrom from the lineup, pitch to Brock. And Brock struck him out for the 4th time. The golden sombrero for Lou Brock. And that is strikeout number 13 for Jacob. I believe he just tied his career high. Oh, my goodness. 13 for Jacob. He struck out 13 back on the 8th of May. And we went 8 2/3, giving up 2 hits. So he's 1 strikeout away from a career high. Brody puts down the target. DeGrom from the windup. Here's the pitch to Flood. And ground ball to short. Harrelson's got it. Goes to first, and there's 2 outs. And now here is Mike Shannon, one of the power on this team. 0 for 3. Struck out, grounded out, fly out. DeGrom has worked 3 over the minimum. He's only given up 3 hits. Leads by the minimal 2-1. Brody puts on the sign. DeGrom looks in, stares in. Here's the pitch to Shannon. 5-6, struck him out for a career high. Jacob DeGrom, complete game. Strikes out 14. Holy cow. So a big strikeout for DeGrom and ends it. He goes 9, gives up 3 hits. Like we said, he only went 3 over the minimum. 3 hits, 1 run was earned, struck out a career high 14. ERA goes to 1.49. Losing pitcher, unfortunately, is Gibson. He goes 7 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs, both earned. 1 big home run out to Boswell. Struck out 5. ERA continues to drop, though. ERA is 2.52. Granger went clean slate. Cepeda and Boswell had the home run. Cepeda, Boswell, Charles had the RBIs. For the Cardinals, no one had multiple of hits, only 3 hits. McCarver, Cepeda with the home run, and Flood. For the Mets, Stahl and Boswell had 2 hits. Eddie Charles with 2 hits. And Cranepool with the hit. Mets win 2-1 over the Redbirds. So the Mets win it, and they will go to 24-20. The Cardinals drop 26-20. So a big win there for the Mets just to get some wins back. And now we're going to go ahead and speed through this part of the schedule and see when Seaver and DeGrom might pitch next and if there are any games of interest. So we'll now go to the Sunday games. It will be a doubleheader. Nelson Briles and Tom Seaver in the day one. And then in the nightcap, Steve Carlton and Jerry Kuzman. So the Mets pitching their absolute two best pitchers. Either play those two online or play those two with some highlight packages to show you guys the games. So we're going to go ahead and manual those two, and we'll figure something out. I might have to do something of a highlight package of the Mets for the June 2nd game. Two great games, both great pitchers. I mean, that is probably one of the absolute greatest pitching matchups for a doubleheader you'll see. Briles, a top pitcher in the Cardinals rotation. So was Carlton at that point. And then you got the Mets' true ace before I threw DeGrom in this. And then you got Kuzman, probably one of the best lefties in baseball. So a great matchup for a doubleheader Sunday. So let's look ahead. We'll go ahead and pound the rest through here and see who the Mets will play. Looks like the Mets will have a Monday off. And we'll go ahead and zoom those away. It was the Braves beating the Reds 7-5. Giants win over the Phillies 7-1. That doesn't help the National League at all. Dodgers defeat the Pirates 4-2, and the Astros beat the Cardinals 6-5. Let's see if there's anything left to play in. We go forward here. I don't want to jump ahead and do any more that's going to interfere with Seaver or DeGrom next time. It's Don Cardwell taking on the Chicago Cubs. So in Wrigley Field, Cardwell and Negro. So we'll go ahead and play that. We'll go ahead and play that day out and see if the Mets can win. No, they lose to the Cubs 7-3. So I'm not playing as the Mets continue to kind of struggle a little bit. So I have to keep that one closely watched. Mets are really going to need to play well in that doubleheader now as they lost to the Cubs. And then it'll be Dick Selma taking on Rich Nye. As again, it'll be in Wrigley. Let's see if the Mets can maybe salvage a tie. No, the Cubs obliterated the Mets 10-4. And the Mets are watching the National League chances of a pennant going by the boards here, as they can't even get by them. They can't get by the Mets. So they can't get by the Cubs. And then, oh my gosh, in Wrigley Field, that's the next time we'll see you. Ferguson Jenkins will take on Mr. Jacob DeGrom. So we'll put that one on the hold, and everything else will be played out. We'll go ahead and play day there, and then that will be the last of this. Giants beat the Phillies. They're not going anywhere. Dodgers beat the Pirates 3-2. Astros over the Cardinals again 6-3. So not a good series here for the Cardinals coming up. They're losing like a series of games. Let's look at the standings here and see what we look like here. Boy, the Mets are going to need some big doings on. They're 4 games out right now, and that's before the doubleheader. If they can go to 26-22, they could probably go somewhere right in the middle of 4th place where the Dodgers are at 29-25. Right now, the Giants are holding a 2.5 game lead on the Cubs, who all of a sudden got hot. And then the Braves are 2.5 back. The Dodgers are 3 back. The Pirates are 4. The Mets are just percentage points back, are 4 back also. But the Cardinals are also 4 back. But they're a couple percentage points in back of the Mets. So again, they will take on the Cardinals here, and they will finish that series off. And then they will head to Chicago. The Cubs have won 6 out of the last 10, while the Mets have lost 8 out of the last 10. So the Mets are really going to need to start putting some wins together, and so far they're not liking what's looking like. So let's see if the Mets can find a way out of this. Thank you so much. We appreciate the time, everyone coming in. This has been a presentation of the Sports 1968 Alternate Universe replay starring Jacob DeGrom. Got himself a great matchup. Stay tuned for possibly an upload in the future on the Mets and the Cardinals doubleheader game. And not, we'll just go ahead and auto that. Doesn't work out. And then we'll be back as we'll come to Wrigley Field as the Mets and the Cubs, as it's DeGrom and Fergie from Wrigley. Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you soon.